Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Print podcast, where we feature industry leaders and uncover the creative minds and their businesses within the world of professional printing. Our mission is to provide you with inspiring, actionable resources that elevate your business projects and accelerate your journey to excellence in profit and in print. Today's episode is Herding Cats and Healing Hearts. And joining me here today is the Pawtistics Manager of Mischief, Kayla Delcoure. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I am happy to be here.
Yeah, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm actually getting ready for a convention, so funny enough, my hair is normally red. So this will be a shock for a lot of people who see this.
What convention are you going to?
I'm going to Dragon Con Atlanta.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yep.
Is that like a sort of a Renaissance fair type deal?
It's way bigger than that. It's actually from Thursday to Monday, and even though I live in driving distance, I stay down there in a hotel anyway because it's just more fun that way.
Mm. All right. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Sure. So, about myself, I am located in Atlanta. I do HR work during the day, corporate job, and then after work, I am a mother of two, a wife, and then the manager of mischief or mom of five cats and a ball python.
Okay. So I was looking at your website. You offer mental health encouragement, crazy cat videos, and sell cat related merch. Can you walk me through how you started the Pawtistics?
Sure. We got started 2022, I believe. And we weren't actually called the Pawtistics back then. It was called Gizmo's Best Life. And that started because I adopted this tiny orange fluffy kitten named Gizmo right around Christmas time. And on day two of his homecoming, he was in my Christmas tree. He was slapping ornaments off the tree, banging them across the living room. He was a character, and I knew right then and there that he was going to be something special. So I just captured all of my memories with him and with my family and as he's grown up. And one video was about this crazy tunnel that was originally my children's crawling tunnel, but it was a pretty large four-way intersecting tunnel. And Gizmo loved it. And the video that kicked all of this chaos off was a video of me putting the tunnel away and he was refusing to get out. Every time I would kick him out, he'd pop right back in. And I actually got contacted by a lot of different media licensing companies, which I do have a degree in like mass communication and a history with film and all of that. So I'm familiar, thankfully. But yeah, we ended up getting published by the Dodo. And ever since then, I've just been posting online and people love it. And I love the happiness that I can bring to people. So it does take a sad turn in 2023. Gizmo actually passed away
I'm sorry to
very
hear that.
unexpectedly from FIP, which is feline immune. Uh, it's a complicated diagnosis, but and it's fairly rare. And up until recently, it was 100% fatal. But even now, the treatment for it is very hard to come by and even considered to be like on the gray market, not black market. But yeah, so he didn't make it. But I had, I still had Floki here, who was this crazy kitten that we got for Gizmo. And now Floki was here without a friend. And so we ended up going and adopting Mushu and Popper from Pippi's Place Pet Rescue in Lawrenceville, Georgia. And that was the same place where we got Gizmo from. So it felt really special to go back. And then brought them home, and it's been the Thunder home ever since.
Oh, I'm very, very sorry to hear about Gizmo. Gizmo, it's that's always sad.
Yeah, it was hard, but it the pain and the processing that I've done just surrounding his passing has led to a lot of other people, I think, feeling seen and validated. And it's what ultimately led me to writing Nine Lives. No, everything does not happen for a reason, but thankfully I was able to get some good out of that.
Absolutely. That's very inspiring. So I actually wanted to ask you a little bit about the names of your cats and where you came up with them. Specifically, my favorite one, Floki von Thunder Paws. That's a solid name. You know,
Yup.
I was looking at his picture on your website. He looks like a some kind of Bavarian count who was turned into a cat. He just has that face to him.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
how'd you
very
come up
serious face.
how'd you come up with that name?
I came up with Floki von Thunder Paws. It started out as just Floki, but it very quickly became Von Thunderpaws because of the very passionate biscuits he would make, which is when cats do the like
Yeah.
clawing thing on like blankets or whatever. It's for them to feel comfort. So he would do them very, very intensely. And every time he would do something like naughty or mischievous or something, I would always extend his name into Floki von Thunderpaws. So it started as a curse and now it has stuck. And that's happened with many of the cats that I have. Bruce is another one. He's actually sleeping right behind me. You can't see him because he's black and white, but his full name is Brucifer Wayne Meowning Star. So there's a few. And Mushu is Mushu the meatball or the bowling ball. And let's see, there's Luna. Luna is just Luna. I always joke, she is not a cat, she is a goddess. So she's just Luna. And then Popper is actually named after a video game character from Baldur's Gate 3. There's a cute little character, and he's a kobold, so he's like a lizard dragon thing, but he's always wanted Trito. And so we always just quote that around Popper.
Yeah, with Brucifer Wayne, I saw his picture on your website as well, and I don't know, in that picture, he looks sinister. He is mean mugging the camera
He loves to sit up high and just watch everything.
like
He's the
Batman.
old, like Batman. He's the oldest cat that we have. I mean, he's 8, but ever since he was a kitten, he has been incredibly special. I mean, I say that about all my cats, but Bruce was one of those. And where I bonded with Gizmo, Bruce has bonded with my son because we got Bruce when my son was 10 months old. And they have grown up together and not slept a night at home apart. Every night they are together. So it's been really special and just heartwarming to see them grow up together.
Yeah, that's great. It's forming that bond, especially when your son is that young. That is very special.
Yep.
What can you tell me about your normal clientele, or who do you typically serve?
So I actually just recently started doing the consulting. That was like a probably I think April of this year. And there's 3 different parts of it. There's the cat advice where I have them fill out a very extensive form, and then I will take about 48 hours to look over it and write up any questions I have, do any research I have, and then have it's typically a 30-minute consultation where I go over what I've thought of since reading it, but also I get more of their story. And sometimes I see the cats in action and I'm able to offer all kinds of advice and ideas that they just may not have thought of. I've had clients who have never had a cat before and like just got one and didn't know is X, Y, and Z normal. I get questions all the time of is this fighting or is this playing? How do you tell the difference? How do you introduce new cats to each other? But I've also had people who have had cats longer than I've been alive. And even then, although I might feel very small at first, I'm still able to come up with ideas that they've not thought of. And that is something that makes me feel reassured that I can still help, even if I might not have as much. I mean, I still have 27 years of experience with cats. So it's a lot, but like I can still get all up in my head about it sometimes. The imposter syndrome is very real.
Could you go into a little more detail about the problems that you typically help solve for these individuals?
Yes. So some of them are related to health issues, which I am very forward with right off the bat of my response to any health related questions will always be consult your veterinarian. But there's also questions about how can I give my pet medicine and then, how can I get them to stop fighting? Or someone had cats who were outdoors. Well, their cats were indoors and there were outdoor cats, and that was stressing out the indoor cats. So there's all these different ways to look at a problem. And I always think it's kind of funny because people say, think outside the box. I don't think outside the box. I think in the box, and there's nothing in there, and it's my job to think of what I can do in it.
Hmm.
So
That was
that's
nicely put.
how, thank you. It's how thinking outside the box, it's too much. You have to look at your perimeter and figure out a solution inside it. Sometimes that means bringing in outside resources, but my best way to flourish or to thrive is to be given limits and then see what I can do with them.
Okay. All right. Well, that answered my next question is how do you go about solving those problems? But no, that was very
Yeah,
precise. No, that was great.
thanks.
So moving on your website, well, on your website shop and on Amazon, you guys sell a pretty extensive line of merch. Do you design the artwork for the stickers and the clothing?
I do for, I think, all but two of them. I am very much a one woman show, as is seen with my book also, because I did all of the writing, illustrations, covers, marketing, all of that. The only thing I didn't do for my book was the editing. But so I think I have two or three designs that are done by guest artists. And on those particular designs, I have their credit listed. And then I also have a deal with them to make sure that they are, paid fairly for their contributions, because I know firsthand art's not easy. It is not easy at all. So I always say the stickers on there that look like a little derpier are typically me, because it's one of those things where I get an idea in my head. I don't have time to go find an artist. And I'm just like, I have a drawing pad. I will do it.
Oh, looks great. Can you tell me a bit about your book?
Yes. So my book is called Nine Lives, and it is basically like holding up a mirror to the whole life cycle of owning a pet, where there's the silliness and chaos when you get them and while you have them, but then it also dives into, and fairly heavily dives into, the process of loss and losing a pet. It's not just about it's not just about the day that you lose them or the week that you lose them. I go into anticipatory grief, which is a very real thing that can sometimes hurt worse than grief, after they pass, because it's coming. I cover the notion of like all of this drama over a cat. This is actually one of the passages in my book is all of this drama over a cat. And then at the very bottom right, it says, "You don't understand. He carried my soul." And that's one of those, I think if anyone was going to read one page of my book and determine whether or not it was for them, that is the page to read, because there are so many people in the world who don't connect with animals the way that like I do, or the way that other people who do connect like that connect. And so this is a book where people can be seen and can grieve their proper amount of grief, rather than trying to snap back and go back to work the next day. Like you can't take bereavement days for losing a pet. And it's stuff like that where I feel like if more people talked about it, then there would be more emotional support out there for people who do have to go through it.
Yeah, I can definitely understand the anticipating grief aspect of it. A couple years back, I had some elderly dogs that they just I knew it was coming and just there's really not much you can do about it.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
So the Pawtistics is already so unique, but how do you stand out from other businesses in your field?
I stand out from other businesses because I don't answer to anybody except the person that I am working with. And by that, I mean, I don't have, like, I know the limits of how much I don't even know. I know my limits. And I also know that I don't need approvals from anybody, obviously, unless I'm working with a brand. But as far as like consulting and whatnot, I feel confident in what I know, and I have science to back up everything. And I always, anytime I interact on the internet at all, it is through the frame of, okay, if this post was put in front of my mother, would I be able to stand by it or would I regret it? And I have yet to post something that I would regret in front of my mother. So I
That's
just
great.
do. I passionately stand by everything that I say. And if I make a mistake, I own up to it. Like, I am not perfect. I don't expect other people to be perfect. So I do expect grace when I give grace to others.
Yeah, again, very nicely put. So, can you tell me about any major milestones that you've made that have defined the Pawtistics or just you personally?
Yes, the main one is actually only a few thousand follows away. And hopefully by the time this is published, I will have hit it. But I am very close to 1 million followers.
Oh, wow. Outstanding. That's
Very close. So that will be a huge one. And I feel silly buying like a plaque for myself, but I am seriously considering
There's
it.
nothing silly about that. That's a huge accomplishment.
So that's a milestone that is rapidly, but also feels like slowly approaching. And then I think another milestone would be selling out of all of my pre-orders. So my Legacy Edition books, I had 50 of them. And I had posted a deadline saying, like, oh, yeah, get your pre orders in by August 8th. And then you have to wait until after release to get the rest of the Legacy Edition ones. They're gone. They're all sold.
Wow. Great. Well, we certainly appreciate you printing with us.
Yes, I'm going to be printing another 50, if not more, just because people are asking me like, "Hey, where can I order one?" I'm like, "You have to wait. It's not out yet. Trust me, I have all of those pre-orders are right there in their envelopes, labeled. They're just ready for me to drop off at the store, and I want to do it early so badly, but I am practicing self-restraint and I'm gonna wait till the proper time."
Well, we can't wait for your next book. So, can you tell us about any challenges or obstacles that are holding you back right now?
Obstacles would Obstacles is a good word for it. I think right now it's more of a mental battle with me currently because as I am approaching 1 million followers, I am checking my metrics more and I am watching more. So it seems like it's going slower. And even though I know that, I still keep looking. And there's this like battle in my head a lot of times where it's like you have to create in order for people to see your stuff. You have to create constantly and you have to post constantly in order to say, like, stay on the For You page of, I mean, Instagram or TikTok. You need to be posting very regularly. And so there's a pressure that I feel to create content, and that pressure actually ends up like stifling my creativity sometimes. So it's like I can't create because I feel pressured, and I feel pressured because I can't create.
Mm.
So I think that's a roadblock that I just need to get over. And every once in a while, I will say, I'll just kind of say to heck with it, and I will record an insane voiceover, one of the unhinged ones that typically goes the most viral, but I have to be in a mood of like, I don't care if this goes viral or not. I'm going to record this. Here's my cats being crazy, and here's what I see when I see them do this. But those actually, yeah, those typically do the best.
Well, it sounds like it's natural, it's unscripted.
Yes. Yep.
So you've already gone into some detail about this, but can you tell us about how print has helped elevate your business?
Yes. As a business and entity that started as only online, moving to a print copy of anything has allowed me to I feel like give content to consumers or to viewers or fans in a whole new way. Because especially with the legacy version, it's called that because I sign it. My cat signs it, one of them, typically, like it's one of their choosings, gets to sign it with their little paw. And then I may have made custom signatures for each of them and practiced it a lot. There's like a tangible content piece now that they can have. And I love that. And for a while, before I even got the idea of a poetry book or of 9 lives, I was always saying that I wanted to make children's books. And so having this poetry book first feels like kind of a step in that direction because I doodled in that book. Like in 9 lives, there are doodles that I did while I was writing poems or just when I saw them in my head. And I feel like if I do a children's book, I will not be illustrating it. I will be finding an illustrator for that. But I feel ready for that next step. And I have so many ideas that I can't convey in cat videos that I would be able to convey on paper. And that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, going back to what you said, tangible is the perfect word for it because there's everything is on a screen these days. It's just everything's on a screen.
Yep.
But when you have a book, a printed copy, that's something physical. Exactly.
Yeah. Being able to open it and to smell the pages for all of my book people out there, being able to just feel the pages. And then this is the author copy, which I actually got all of their signatures.
That's great.
Oh, like everyone gets a keepsake of it. It's not a print on the internet. It's not a digital copy of anything. It is like proof of the time, love, and tears that I put into this book in your hands.
Yeah, definitely. No, if you when you decide to go through with the children's book, we'd be more than happy to help you out with that.
Good. Hopefully it will be soon.
Just let us know. So, sort of a different question for you here. If you had a day completely free to spend however you'd like, no obligations, nothing like that. If you had a day completely free, how would you spend it?
That's a really good question. I am kind of allergic to not having anything to do. I would probably read and play video games.
What kind of games do you like?
All kinds. I kind of alternate. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's part of the ADHD, but I basically have a game on rotation that I am like obsessed with at the time. So it goes from, The Sims to Helldivers to there's a cozy little bookshop game called, I think it's just called Tiny Bookshop that I've been playing religiously lately. And so I just rotate through depending on the mood. If I need to like let off some steam, I will go play Helldivers. If I need to just relax and, pack orders or anything like that, I'll just play Tiny Bookshop. So it's all over the place.
Yeah, I have quite the collection of games myself, and it's like you said, it just depends on the mood.
Hmm.
If I want something like nostalgic, I'll play Fallout New Vegas. If I want something a little more modern, maybe one of the more recent Far Cry games.
There you go.
Well, anyway, one last question for you. How can our listeners get in touch with you to learn more, to collaborate with you on a project, maybe to pre-order another one of your books? What's the best way to get in touch?
The best way is to Google search the Pawtistics is probably the easiest way. Alternately, I'm on every platform except X as the Pawtistics. So if you just look up the Pawtistics or Floki von Thunder Paws, you will find me.
I chuckle every time I hear that name.
If he gets in real trouble, I call him Floki Elizabeth von Thunder Paws because that's his hidden middle name that everyone can now know.
Well, very good. Did you have any questions for me?
I don't think so. I'm just excited for the next project.
Hmm. Well, I'd say that's a wrap on another episode of Behind the Print. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to our listeners as we explored the artistry and innovation of the printing world. Remember, having a strong vision, building the right strategy, and using tools like print will help your brand stand out from the crowd. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to get a sample pack today from PrintingCenterUSA.com and share it with your fellow business enthusiasts. Until next time, keep those creative sparks flying, and remember, there's always more to discover behind the print.